So
I
thrilled
literally
about
have
that.
my lemonade right here and it's so good.
Me too.
Yay, good. I love to hear that.
I love it. So I'm just gonna kind of start jumping into some of the questions that we had sent over.
Great.
Uh, so first and foremost, what was your inspiration for Spoon?
Yeah, so I'm type 1 diabetic. So, and I was diagnosed when I was 6 years old. So it was like always one of those things I was looking for. I can't have sugar. So, it was like looking for stuff that doesn't have sugar and kind of always having this like nagging feeling bad when I was younger, like being at birthday parties that I couldn't have the cake. I couldn't have, the pink lemonade at school, all of those things. And really always knowing that I kind of wanted to give back and help the diabetic community. But I'm not a doctor, I'm not a researcher, like that's not what I'm going to do. And so thinking about how else can I give back, and really knowing that, 2/3 of adult Americans are pre-diabetic. And so much of that is because of diet and exercise. So if we can have an impact on that, on sort of the diet side of things, and prevent so many people from ultimately getting diabetes, that was always something I really wanted to do. So it kind of started as like a true personal need. Like I was sick of drinking the products out there, always looking for something, and didn't have something that I think tasted great and didn't have sugar. And then really realizing like it's, sugar's bad for everyone. Like it's not just type 1 diabetics. Like it is something that no one should have. It's not a trend. And, we still want to give people products that they enjoy to drink, that are feel celebratory, but just don't have sugar.
Awesome. Yeah. And it's just like with all your products, it doesn't taste like you're drinking something healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like it's naturally healthy for you and it tastes good and you don't feel like you're actually curving your diet. You're just enjoying something that's just generally healthier for you. So
exactly. And it was one of those things like at the end of the day, if it doesn't taste good, like sure, you can maybe like sub it in a few times, but it's not going to be something that you want to keep going back to. So like number one, we always said it had to taste good. And then it kind of had to hit like the healthy things on the sugar and everything else.
Right. Awesome. So my next question for you guys is, let's see, what inspired you guys to create the lemonade line?
Our customers really, and listening to customer feedback. So when we launched the simple syrup, we were so excited to really have a perfect replacement for sugar. Obviously, you've tried it and have used it, but basically it's a 1-to-1 match of liquid sugar, but obviously with none of the flaws of sugar. And so we really wanted people to be able to taste that in full and realize it doesn't have that sort of aftertaste bite or any kind of off notes that people have at this point come to expect in sugar substitutes. And so we kind of want to show it like as bald as possible, where like there was nowhere to hide for anything that wouldn't taste quite right. And so we would make just 1 part Swoon simple syrup, 1 part fresh lemon juice, and then dilute it with water. And that's how we would serve it to people so they could see like super simple and just taste great. And people loved it. And so then as we were serving them that, people were like ready to buy the finished product, which was this just really clean lemonade. And so after getting enough feedback of that, we thought, gosh, let's bottle it ourselves and make it.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's just so much easier people don't want to buy all the ingredients for it and make it every time. I know I've made it personally with the Swoon product many a times. But I love that you guys packaged it. Do you guys think that you'll ever do like another bottle size or like do like instead of cans, like a bigger container of it? Or do you think for now you'll just stick with cans?
I think we were really excited to have cans. It's so easy. People are used to having it. But I think, like Cristina said, this came from listening to customers.
Right.
So we're always going to listen to our customers and kind of do what they want. So like, sure, anything is possible. And we'll just continue to iterate.
I love it. Now, I know that you guys are doing a give back to New York City food banks with your lemonade line. What kind of inspired you to choose that charity of choice? Was it based on the pandemic? Was it based on personal, ties to it? What made you guys decide to do that?
Yeah. And so, obviously at core, this is about taking sugar out of people's diets and kind of having a big impact there. And so then we thought about like, who can we help? Where can we reach this? Having it be accessible, who really needs this most? And so for us, we're based in New York. So it really made sense to kind of do it in our own backyard. And again, so we went looking at kind of different organizations. And for us, drinks are a part of meal. Like you don't want to have soda, you don't want to have juice. It kind of just like has that extra, it really rounds everything out. And so we saw this as a great replacement. They were starting to then do, during the pandemic, kind of the way that they were doing meals was like in the kits and things like that. So we just felt like it was such a great partnership, knowing that it was a need that they had in terms of spawning it into their meals.
I love it. Obviously, we all know I'm a big meals advocate. So, what is your guys' favorite Swoon recipe, whether it be food or cocktails or?
So I have to say, like, I am really all about convenience. Like, I'm not really a cook. And I think because we started with mixers, I sometimes still always have that in my head. But I would say these days, I really am loving the lemonade with like a shot of vodka. And like sometimes if I have some like fruit in my fridge, really like anything, I just add it in to kind of spice it up. But again, like it really is kind of like day to night. Like now I'm just sitting here like sipping the lemonade. Sure, maybe tonight I'll add in some vodka, but like I really like to keep it simple.
I love it. What about you, Cristina? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry, my internet connection has been so spotty these days.
Okay.
I am a big fan of the simple syrup. I know just sort of the work that it took to get it right and to really perfect the sweetness profile of it. So I am like a wake up in the morning and put my simple syrup into an iced coffee, even in the freezing cold person. So I have to say I'm particularly partial to it. But yes, I mean, look, we're all excited about the lemonade. And I think for me, it's been really fun because my kids always liked the mixers as mocktails. My son, my oldest son particularly, has always been a fan of the cucumber mint over ice or even just straight out of the little bottle. But it's fun to have something now that actually can be much more directly marketed to and enjoyed by kids. So I think that's been another fun expansion of our line, is thinking of kiddie recipe and kid examples of bringing them into something that is good for them, but can still be a lot of fun for them to have and breaks the water only cycle that I think our household and many others have.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. And then I think, another note is, where to buy it in the Hamptons. I know I picked up my lemonade at Cinderella's, but is there any other locations that you want to share with people and let them know where we can pick you up?
Yeah, so we're in all the Cinderellas throughout the Hamptons, and we'll definitely expand it as it gets a little bit warmer and back into the summer season. But no matter what, you can 100% get it at Cinderella.
I love it. Or online.
Of course, online as well.
Yeah, but we've had great partnerships with Amber Waves Farm, for example, which is a spot that we both really love. Golden Pear, they've been a great partner to us, and they carry the syrup as well at their coffee bar. So there's definitely been some great partners out there from the beginning for us.
Okay. And I think my last question for you guys is, what do you see on the horizon for Swoon? What do you guys see in the future post-pandemic, I guess you would say?
I think really kind of like the world is our oyster, but really, knowing that we just launched the lemonade, so really expanding on the flavors there and the tea side of it, kind of in this ready to drink that people, like as Cristina was saying, that you can give to your kids, you can give to anyone, kind of morning, noon, and night that you can have. So really continuing to expand the flavor options there.
Awesome. Well, I know I love the product so much. It's so good. I'm so excited for you girls and all the hard work you guys have done and with Swoon. And I love you guys and in your product. It's great.
Well, thank you.
Well, no,